Consumer Reports is warning that some supermarkets across the country are overcharging you for some products that are marked as being on sale.
By the time you are over 50, choosing where to shop or eat should feel simple. You stick with what feels familiar, your usual store, your go to restaurant. But what feels familiar is not always what is best. Behind those big chain names are hidden costs, old produce, sky high sodium, pharmacy delays, things that can quietly chip away at your health or budget. If you have ever walked into a place and thought, something feels off, this list is for you. Stick around, because by the end, you might be rethinking a few of your regular stops. Starting with a name everyone knows, Walmart. On the surface, Walmart looks like a convenient one-stop shop. Groceries, pharmacy items, clothes, even home repairs if you are lucky enough to live near a supercenter. But according to countless customer reports and former employee reviews, seniors in particular need to be careful. One of the biggest concerns is quality control in the grocery section. Former Walmart stockers have shared stories about produce that sits for too long before hitting the floor. One employee described finding boxes of lettuce or strawberries left in the back cooler long past freshness dates. And once it does get out on the shelves, it may already be too late. One senior shopper posted a review showing pictures of moldy berries they bought the same day. That is not all. Multiple health inspection records have flagged Walmart deli sections for things like improper food temperatures and expired products being sold. One report from a location in Texas noted sliced meats sitting out for over 2 hours without refrigeration. For anyone, that is not ideal. But for seniors with more sensitive immune systems, that is a real health hazard. Beyond food, Walmart's pharmacy service has raised red flags as well. According to customer reports, prescription wait times can be long and refill orders get mixed up more often than you might expect. One retired pharmacist who used to work for Walmart shared that staffing cuts mean fewer trained professionals are available to double-check orders. That can lead to dosage mistakes or delays in getting necessary medications, both of which are serious risks for older adults managing multiple prescriptions. If Walmart's size makes it easy for things to slip through the cracks, Dollar General takes that problem and shrinks it down to neighborhood scale. With more than 20,000 locations across the United States, Dollar General is one of the fastest growing chains around. But according to store employees and customers alike, that growth comes with real trade-offs. One of the biggest concerns is store cleanliness and organization. Multiple health department citations have flagged Dollar General stores for blocked fire exits, cluttered aisles, and expired food products left on shelves. Former employees have admitted that with such small staffing, keeping track of inventory often becomes an afterthought. One worker shared a story about finding canned goods covered in dust, well past expiration dates still sitting out for sale. That is not just bad service. It is potentially dangerous, especially for seniors who might not always double-check labels. Another recurring issue is Dollar General's fresh and frozen food sections. Many locations have added refrigerators and freezers, but according to reviews, those appliances are not always well maintained. One senior shopper shared in a post that they bought frozen vegetables only to discover they had clearly thawed and refrozen at some point, a sign of fluctuating temperatures. Health inspectors in several states have documented similar problems, with coolers running too warm or showing signs of spoiled products. And then there is the pricing trap. While Dollar General promotes itself as a discount store, many items actually cost more per ounce or unit than they would at larger grocery chains. Former store managers have explained that smaller package sizes mask higher prices, something seniors on a fixed income might not always catch. If Dollar General cuts corners in the name of speed, then McDonald's represents a different kind of risk, one that hides behind convenience and familiarity. Everyone knows McDonald's. For many older adults, it feels like an easy, predictable stop. But behind the golden arches, there are more concerns than most people realize. One of the biggest problems is sodium. According to nutritional breakdowns, a single McDonald's meal can contain well over 2,000 milligrams of sodium. Take a quarter pounder with cheese, medium fries, and a small soda. That combination alone pushes past the daily recommended limit for sodium intake. Former employees have shared that many McDonald's locations pre-salt fries in large batches, and extra salt can build up depending on how closely staff follow portioning guidelines. Another concern is food freshness. While McDonald's promotes freshly made burgers, former kitchen workers have admitted that during busy times, patties and chicken fillets are cooked in large batches and held in warming trays for extended periods. One employee described watching burgers sit in a holding drawer for over 20 minutes, drying out and losing quality. For seniors with more sensitive digestion or specific dietary needs, that kind of holding time can lead to less than ideal meals. Health inspections across various states have flagged McDonald's locations for cross-contamination issues as well. One report from Florida noted raw chicken stored too close to ready-to-eat foods, and similar patterns show up in customer reviews. One diner shared that their salad arrived with what looked like a stray chicken nugget piece mixed in. Definitely not something you want happening if you have allergies or dietary restrictions. Even McDonald's coffee is not immune. Multiple reviews mention coffee that tastes burnt or stale, especially outside of peak hours. Former workers have shared that in some locations, coffee pots are left on the burner too long rather than being replaced every half hour as recommended. For seniors who just want a reliable cup of coffee, that inconsistency can be enough to look elsewhere. By now, a pattern is starting to take shape. Walmart, Dollar General, McDonald's, each one offering convenience or savings on the surface, but carrying hidden risks underneath. Whether it is expired groceries, sky-high sodium, or cluttered aisles that make shopping harder than it should be, these chains all present quiet challenges that do not show up in the advertisements. But this is only the first part of the list. There are still 5 more big chains that deserve a closer look. Some you might expect, some that might surprise you. Either way, stick around, because what is coming next could easily be sitting in your own neighborhood right now. If this is already making you rethink some of your regular stops, now is a good moment to tap like and hit subscribe to the hidden menu, because we are here to help you spot what really matters before it ends up in your cart or on your plate. And if Walmart, Dollar General, and McDonald's have you looking at familiar places with fresh eyes, there are still more big names where things are not always as safe or straightforward as they seem, especially if you are over 50 and trying to shop or eat with your health in mind. One chain that catches a lot of people off guard is Target. It feels polished, clean, and a little more upscale than some other stores. But according to former employees and customer reports, Target is not immune to the same hidden issues. One of the biggest concerns involves Target's grocery section. Many locations have expanded into full grocery offerings in recent years, but according to ex-employees, freshness can be inconsistent. One former stocker shared that produce shipments sometimes sit too long in back storage before hitting the shelves. This is especially true in locations where groceries are a newer addition and not the main focus. Customers have reported buying fruit or vegetables only to find mold or spoilage hidden beneath the top layer. Target's deli and prepackaged food areas carry similar risks. Health inspection reports from several states show repeat citations for improperly stored cold items, especially during overnight restocks when staffing is thinner. One customer shared an experience of buying pre-made sandwiches from Target's refrigerated section, only to discover they were past their sell-by date, still sitting out for sale. That might not be a big deal to a younger shopper in a hurry, but for seniors with more sensitive stomachs or immune systems, that kind of oversight can turn into a real health problem. And it is not just food. Former pharmacy employees from Target have noted that when the chain partners with third-party pharmacy providers, communication gaps can happen. One former technician mentioned long waits and delayed prescription orders during system transitions, something that can be especially frustrating for seniors managing regular medications. Moving along from Target, there is another chain that feels even more surprising to see on this list: Starbucks. It is not just a place to grab coffee. For many seniors, it has become a regular stop for a light lunch, a pastry, or an afternoon tea. But according to nutrition breakdowns and employee reviews, Starbucks is another spot where hidden risks quietly stack up. First, let us talk about sodium. While most people think of Starbucks as mostly drinks and pastries, many of their sandwiches and warm lunch items pack more sodium than a fast food meal. A simple turkey and cheddar sandwich can contain over 1,000 milligrams of sodium, and some of the breakfast sandwiches go even higher. Former employees have admitted that much of the food arrives frozen and is reheated in-store, not made fresh as many customers assume. One former barista shared that those egg bites everyone loves come pre-cooked, vacuum sealed, and just get microwaved before being served. There is also the sugar issue. Seniors trying to manage blood sugar or watch their calorie intake might think a flavored latte or frappuccino is a harmless treat. But a grande caramel frappuccino contains over 50 grams of sugar, more than some desserts. Former Starbucks employees have mentioned that during busy hours, syrups and toppings are often poured quickly without precise measuring, meaning your drink could contain even more sugar and calories than listed. Cleanliness concerns show up here too. Health inspection records from several Starbucks locations mention things like dirty equipment, unwashed blenders, and improperly stored milk. One customer shared online that they saw a barista use the same cloth to wipe both the counter and a drink cup lid, a small thing that can easily lead to cross-contamination. While it might seem like a small detail for seniors dealing with immune concerns, those little lapses matter. If Starbucks is hiding sugar and sodium under its calm, cozy atmosphere, then the next chain takes things in the complete opposite direction. That chain is Popeyes. Known for its spicy fried chicken and biscuits, Popeyes has become hugely popular in recent years. But according to customer reports and former employees, it is also one of the most inconsistent big chains out there. One of the biggest concerns with Popeyes is oil quality. Former kitchen workers have shared that during busy times, frying oil is not always changed as often as it should be. One worker mentioned seeing oil so dark and sticky by the end of a shift that it affected both the flavor and texture of the food. Reusing oil too long not only creates off-tasting food, but also introduces unhealthy compounds into the meal, something that can hit seniors especially hard if digestion or heart health is already a concern. Sodium levels are another major issue. A single Popeyes chicken combo meal can contain over 3,000 milligrams of sodium, especially if you add sides like Cajun fries or mac and cheese. One retired dietitian shared online that when reviewing chain restaurant meals for seniors, Popeyes ranked among the highest for both sodium and saturated fat per serving. Cleanliness and food handling show familiar problems here too. Health department records have flagged Popeyes locations across the country for things like undercooked chicken, food stored at improper temperatures, and employee hygiene lapses. One particularly concerning customer review described finding a piece of raw batter still inside what was supposed to be fully cooked chicken, something no one wants to discover, let alone a senior with a more sensitive system. Former employees have also talked about cross-contamination risks in the kitchen. During rushes, tongs and trays might get reused between raw and cooked items without a full cleaning in between. For seniors managing health risks like foodborne illnesses or salt-sensitive blood pressure, that kind of shortcut is more than just bad service. It is a real problem. By now, the pattern is clear across both parts of this list. From Walmart to Popeyes, these big chains all share the same quiet issues: hidden sodium, questionable freshness, and food safety shortcuts that would never fly in a home kitchen. And while younger shoppers might power through with little trouble, seniors over 50 face different risks. Risks that make it worth thinking twice before pulling into that parking lot or stepping up to that counter. But we are not finished yet. There are still two more big chains left on this list, two places many folks trust without a second thought. And as you are about to see, even the most familiar names can carry hidden habits that are not so friendly once you take a closer look. Stick around because the final part of this list is where things really come full circle. And as promised, there are still two final names on this list. Two chains that many people over 50 trust automatically without thinking twice. These are places that feel steady, familiar, and dependable. But once you step past the friendly signage and the bright lighting, there are hidden habits and quiet problems that are worth a closer look. Starting with a chain that feels almost too ordinary to cause concern, Kroger. Kroger is one of the biggest grocery chains in the country, with locations stretching from coast to coast. Seniors shop there for everything from prescriptions to weekly groceries. It seems like a place that should get things right. But according to former employees and customer reports, there are reasons to be cautious. One of the biggest issues at Kroger is food freshness, particularly in the produce and bakery sections. Multiple former stockers have shared that produce rotation does not always happen as carefully as it should. One employee described moving older fruit to the top of the pile to sell it first, a practice sometimes called first in, first out, but taken a step too far. That means what you see on the shelf might already be on its last day of freshness, especially if you are shopping in the evening or toward the end of a sales cycle. The bakery section carries similar concerns. Former Kroger bakery workers have mentioned that many of the store's cakes, pies, and breads arrive frozen from central facilities rather than being made fresh in-house. While this helps with consistency, it also means those baked goods might not be as fresh as they look. One customer shared an experience buying a store brand pie that seemed perfect on the outside, but was dry and stale once sliced open. That is not just disappointing, it is especially important for seniors who may have sensitive digestion or dental concerns that make dry, dense foods harder to enjoy safely. Kroger's pharmacy services also show mixed reviews. Seniors often rely on grocery store pharmacies for convenience, but according to both customers and former pharmacy technicians, long wait times and occasional mix-ups are a known issue. One former pharmacy employee shared that staffing shortages made it difficult to keep up with orders, especially during flu season. That means seniors picking up vital prescriptions might face delays or incorrect labeling, something that can lead to serious health consequences if not caught right away. And then there is the pricing issue. While Kroger promotes itself as budget-friendly, especially with loyalty cards and weekly deals, former employees have shared that some of those promotions do not always ring up as advertised. One senior customer posted online about being overcharged for sale items multiple times and only catching it because they double-checked receipts. For older adults on fixed incomes, every dollar matters, and small pricing errors add up fast. If Kroger feels like a quiet grocery store risk, the final chain on this list might surprise you even more. Walgreens. For many seniors, Walgreens is the default pharmacy stop. You pick up a prescription, grab a greeting card, maybe a snack or two. But according to health inspection records, customer reviews, and former employees, there are more behind-the-scenes concerns than most folks realize. One of the biggest issues with Walgreens is prescription accuracy. Former pharmacy workers have shared that with the pressure to fill a high volume of orders, mistakes can and do happen. One former technician described filling dozens of prescriptions per hour during peak times, with less time than ideal for double-checking. That means seniors picking up critical medications could face dosage errors or incorrect pills if they are not careful. Cleanliness in the front end of the store also varies. While some Walgreens locations keep things neat, others have been cited for cluttered aisles, expired products on shelves, and dirty coolers. Health inspection reports from several states mention Walgreens locations flagged for selling expired over-the-counter medications and food products past their sell-by dates. One senior shopper shared in a review that they bought a sandwich from the Walgreens refrigerated section, only to find it was 2 days expired once they got home. For seniors with weaker immune systems, expired foods and medications are not just minor annoyances. They can lead to real health risks. Former store employees have also mentioned that staffing shortages sometimes lead to security and cleanliness corners being cut. One worker shared that during night shifts, there might only be 2 people running the entire store. One in the pharmacy, one up front. That means areas like the refrigerated snacks or the frozen food section might not get checked as often as they should. Small things like cooler malfunctions or spills can go unnoticed for hours. And there's the matter of pricing again. Walgreens is known for convenience, but that convenience often comes with a higher price tag. Former managers have shared that some everyday items, things like paper products, canned goods, or toiletries, are marked up significantly compared to grocery stores. For seniors on a tighter budget, those extra costs can sneak up quickly, especially when shopping out of habit rather than paying close attention. By now, the bigger pattern across all 8 chains on this list is impossible to ignore. From Walmart to Walgreens, each one presents quiet risks that are easy to overlook until they add up. Whether it is hidden sodium in fast food, questionable food freshness in grocery stores, or prescription accuracy at the pharmacy, there are small details that matter more than ever when you are over 50. And while none of these places are automatically bad all the time, they all share one thing in common: a focus on speed, volume, and convenience that does not always align with what is safest or smartest for seniors looking to protect their health, budget, and peace of mind. At the end of the day, the smartest thing any senior can do is slow down a little and pay closer attention. Double-check labels, ask about how things are prepared, And do not assume a big name automatically means better care. The truth is, sometimes smaller local shops, pharmacies, or restaurants offer more attention to detail simply because they are not trying to handle thousands of customers a day. If this list helped you think a little differently about your usual stop, take a second right now to tap like and hit subscribe to The Hidden Menu. Around here, we break down the truth behind the places you already know, so you can make smarter, safer choices every time you head out. Because even after 50, a little extra information can make all the difference. And remember, the truth is not always on the menu.